we have a very exciting presentation here from Kevin Reid, which is about the 1x2 network, which has which trades under 1x2 Gaming, and a brand new slot studio called IronDog. So I will hand over to Kevin, who will explain a bit more.
Hello. Hi everybody. I'm here today to present IronDogStudio, which is one of the subsidiaries of the 1x2 network. What I'm first going to do is talk you through our organisation. Then I'm going to demo some of our games to you on the screen, and then finally I'm going to follow up and talk about this exclusive preview that we have of a new slot, which is something to do with the little gifts that are on the seats. So before we start, just take you a bit about myself. My name's Kevin Reid, obviously. Commercial Marketing Director of 1x2 Gaming. Oversee new business, client relations and marketing within the organisation. I've been in iGaming for 6 years, but after a short spell in finance, and but my family have been in gaming all my life, so it's kind of in my blood. So, how did our organisation start? It started in 1984 with Chase Racing. Our founder set that up and created about 19 shops, sold them to Ladbrokes in 97, into the gaming software in 2002, and went a bit fast there on the old clicker, but we've rebranded several times until now recently becoming the 1x2 network. Within the 1x2 network we have 1x2 Gaming, which is what we're kind of known for, and IronDogStudio, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. So the 1x2 network kind of changed when we'd amassed 40 odd integrations back in by the end of 2015, and some of the providers that you're seeing on the screen today, and people were seeing 1x2 Gaming as categorized by one of the games that they may have seen, but 1x2 Gaming kind of covered so many different bases, and we did a review and we did a product mix on our organization, and 1x2 Gaming effectively covered all of these different areas. So we had classic cute slots, and branded slots in the case of the branded games with Caliber Comics, which we've got with Dead World and Legend Lore. We also create table games. We've got one of the more varied portfolios of table games on the market under 1x2. And we do innovative table games in partnership with a company called Probability Jones. We do numbers and lottery games like Keno games, arcade games, instant wins, and then what most people were knew us for, which was our virtual football product, which had been in the industry for a very, very long time. 2003 was when it was first launched. So covering a lot of different areas. And effectively, when we looked at this product mix, we looked at the areas where we didn't have kind of products, which was high production slots, graphical games in terms of virtual racing and virtual tennis. So a company called Leap approached us. And they said, you've got this extensive network of 40 odd integrations. And what we want to be able to do is use your integration. You help us develop these games on your platform with all of the different licenses that you have, and develop the following games, which is racing, tennis, and then a graphical, higher definition virtual sports product that's actually coming for the start of next football season. But then we looked and assessed, and we were looking at that one key gap that was missing, which was the high production slots. And because 1x2 Gaming was so broad, we thought that best we would create its own brand and have its own identity. And after some soul searching in Macau, we created IronDogStudio. And this was where we were going to create AAA rated high production slot machines, and also release its own portfolio of table games. So IronDogStudio, effectively IronDogStudio is so readily available because of the network that we've created with 1x2 network, that a lot of people may already have access to these games and not know about it, and if you haven't, you should. And affiliates, many sites have now got these games, and I'm going to flick through some in a minute, and you can really see that the distribution of this product that's only been released since the beginning of this year is now quite extensive. What we wanted to do with IronDogStudio was really focus on AAA rated slot machine games that were always innovative, because, you know, obviously everybody always says what's innovation in the industry and how do we innovate slots, And so what we wanted to do is come up with kind of unique concepts within IronDogStudio and target specific market niches. So some of the games that we're going to go through just briefly in a moment is really showing that there's kind of a unique area that we're trying to target within each game. Also, when playing IronDogStudio slots, which actually was a feedback that we received from a competitor, it's quite unique in the fact that the UI from IronDogStudio slots makes you always feel like you're playing an IronDogStudio game, even if you're playing one of the more kind of cuter type games or one of the more hardened types that we have. So, for those of you that can commercialize this, it's going to be like finding money in your pocket, effectively. IronDogStudio, because of our network, we've been able to already integrate and distribute in the following jurisdictions of Malta, Gibraltar, UK, Isle of Man, and Italy, which is obviously a heavily regulated market already. And we've got games distributed, and again, once you'll see some of the providers that have actually already started distributing these games. So, here we go. These are some of the providers that we've got that have already launched, and this is from live sites of the games already on people's portfolios. Sorry, excuse me. So, sorry, heard me drink there. Okay, so, and finish up with Red Queen Casino. So, Cosmic Crystals, which was our first game that we released. Little demo video here of the introduction for Cosmic Crystals, but effectively, this game was always targeted at being niche in terms of, we wanted to make a game that was kind of really quirky in terms of its figures. So we made the first 100% hit rate slot, where basically if you lose, it will give you a respin, and by respinning, it will carry on respinning until you win. So effectively here, there you saw the respin animation from a lose, and the respin with an expanding wild created a win. Also within the game we created sticky wilds that stuck within the respins as well, which obviously then basically means that if you're counting backwards, so wilds appear from rows 4, 3 and 2, and effectively there you can create a big win by stacking wilds from the back. Game number 2 was Paint, and this game we kind of wanted to polarize in terms of its animations and keep it within high quality. And what we were looking for was a different type of spin with Paint. So here you can see Paint's popping spin, and it's around the artist's mind this game is based. And effectively what you're doing is collecting these AU characters, the little gold inks, and as you collect them, that then triggers the free spins. Now this game in itself is quite unique because AU then creates and generates the Paint posse, which is one of the little guys in the top corner, and he can add the multiplier to the game. So as you're going through free spins, you're actually creating a multiplier effect on top. Sorry, something went wrong there. Okay, so, and as you can see here, the little multiplier was creating more multipliers. Also with Paint, we created a bonus round that was based on, again, the artist. And it was effectively flicking paint at the screen and creating your masterpiece. So the user gets to select the paint balloons, select the figures, and it will create a multiplier onto the win. Cherry Blast has been our biggest success so far, and this game kind of pretty much does exactly what it says on the tin. It's all about exploding cherries. It's kind of a unique twist on top of what effectively we would have like, you know, the normal cherry symbols, which are quite flat. We wanted to kind of really bring a shine to these games. And within Cherry Blast, we were looking for a unique bonus round where users got to choose the volatility of the bonus that was going to pay out for them. So Cherry Blast here also adds in a unique free spins feature, which is what we'll go into straight away. Now the free spins within Cherry Blast is all about explosions. So effectively, if you want to see a lot of activity on your screen, this is what this game's all about. So as the user enters in free spins, the exploding cherries will explode out, and it will add super scatters and super wilds, again on the 3 central reels. And that pays out quite relatively big wins. And it's quite an exciting bonus round because really the activity is quite fascinating within here, where customers are getting a lot of pays as they go along, and the explosions obviously are leading to more and more excitement. But as I said, the unique thing about Cherry Blast is the bonus round. Now the bonus round in this is based on a kind of a classic arcade type game, and you've got the pixelated cherry, which will dart around the screen and collect the different pixels in terms of, and that's where the pays are. And the values through 1 through 5, 5 being volatile, 1 being low volatility, is in terms of a different path for the cherry to choose. And here you can see that the pixelated cherry is now going around collecting the big pays that we've selected here in this example to try and really get a big payout and go for the big win. And what we've been finding is users have actually been flirting between 3 and 5 in terms of their volatility, really to try and obviously get the big pays in the bonus round. But the big pay is if you can try and get towards the end. And here you can see 137 times stake is obviously a big win. Moves on to our fourth game of Gifts of Astara, and this game it was more seasonally based with the pagan goddess of Easter, which is Astara. It's actually an interesting story. Astara is that people would bring her gifts, and what we wanted to do was rectify that and say, well, Astara will award gifts to the players as they play. So effectively, you've got Astara's burrow, and we've got an extended kind of area on the end where you're collecting, and Astara is awarding you different royals from the game. And as she awards 3 of the same different royal, that royal will now trigger the free spins area. And within these free spins, you're looking to try and get as many of these royals as you can, because the royals are effectively multiplying out the egg value, and then that will be added on top of the line win. So here you can see that the line win there paid out 125, but we got 3 kings on the screen, so that added 3 times the egg value to give 160. We've collected another one, and as the free spins go on and on and on, you're totaling an even bigger prize. So what you're really looking for is to try and get some of the higher paying royals and try and land them as many times as you can during free spins, which obviously then creates the bigger pay. Astara, though, we didn't want to just keep in her burrow, so what we decided to do was create expanding wilds and sticky wilds. So as you can see, she will appear here as an expanding wild, and it triggers a big win, but she also appears as a sticky wild, awarding an extra 2 or 1 free spins as it goes on. I'm aware we're going through quite a lot of the products, so without trying to bombard, I'm going to go through Treasure of Horus, which was released last Friday on NYX. It's now available across our whole portfolio, in Italy as well. This game, Egyptian themed, it's one of them ones where you can't go wrong, but what we wanted to try and do was really take a look at the twist and the history within the game, because obviously, as we say, we're trying to create a story here. Now, within the desert, you have the scarabs, the kind of cockroachy kind of creatures that run across the desert, and these, as the game is playing, dart across the screen, and every now and then will trigger a big one which will create a wild. Now these are actually quite frequent within the base game, and that basically means that a customer is really getting a lot of pays out early and feeling like there's a lot of activity on the screen. The Treasure of Horus is all about its base game, all about its free spins. So what you would have to do, this is an image, so you land the cockroach, the scarab on the top center, and it will create and expand down Anubis, who's one of the Egyptian gods. Now, Anubis' tomb, you get 6 free spins. If you manage to get Weret, which is the lady that you can kind of see in the background, she'll then take you into the next tomb. Once you're in that tomb, you get an extra, the multipliers of the wilds expands, and also then you're getting 6 free spins on top of any free spins you have left. So say, for example, you've only got 3 spins left in Anubis, now then you've got 6 free spins, so you would have 9 going through. So then let's just see how we go out here. So we've activated there, and we have 4 free spins left available, and now we've activated Horus, which is the final section. Now in Horus's tomb, this is where you get 5 times multipliers and where all of the big pays are based. And effectively, again, you have the scarabs that are going to dart across the screen on every spin. But the idea is to get the scatter, and that's where the big pays are. And as you'll see in the next spin, hopefully, if I remember rightly, that is the activation of the large wins. So as you can see here, we're actually at a total win of almost €1,000, and this is on the fourth different level, but obviously the third level of the free spins round. So they were our first 5 slots, but what we also wanted to do was produce high production games in general. We created a 3D European roulette. What we wanted to do with our roulette game is make sure that the UI was exactly the same between mobile and desktop, and keep customers really aware and feel like they're familiar with the game. So obviously the spin, 3D element to it, very, very high production. But what we also added to this game was a layover in terms of the stats, which is obviously the key thing within roulette. And obviously I'm a customer that would play based on a percentage that's behind, but as you can see here, the stats overlay that you can bet on top of the stats. To say there, the middle 12 is obviously 29%, so that's a bit light, but then obviously you've got the cold and the hot numbers that are on the screen. And this, we feel, that is kind of more information to the customer, and obviously it's information that's there and available, and other providers you have to go and look at history for it, but within this game we wanted to make it very aware of customers while they were betting, because you don't want to tab backwards and forwards between the different percentages, between the different options. So by laying it on the screen as an overview, gives the customers a real good opportunity to explore what percentages and the volume of bets that have been attributed to certain areas. That defaults to 200 last spins, but customers can move it all the way forward to 10 if they wish. So, I'm going to show you the final game before I finish up, and it's an exclusive preview for here for Ignite, and we've only really just been getting to the final areas of pushing this game and finalising the development of this game. This game for us represents, again, something new and unique that we've obviously tried to deploy across our games, but we're also trying to keep it fun and keep it light. The game is based, let me kick it on, but it's due for release on the 13th of September across our network, and obviously we're quite excited about it, hence all the gifts. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you Neon Jungle. So Neon Jungle, effectively, the idea of Neon Jungle is to land the neon glow on top of the neon glimmer behind one of the super symbols, which will then give you the neon glow. When you activate those symbols, so there it glimmered behind the bonus, but it didn't activate. The idea is obviously to land that, and when you land that, that will then take you into the relevant feature. Now, within this game, we've got 3 spins and a bonus. If you land the neon glimmer onto a normal pay, that will give you 4 times the multiplier of that pay. But the real kind of innovative thing within this game is the bonus round. Within Neon Jungle's bonus round, we have created what we believe is one of the only Keno bonus rounds within a slot machine. And effectively, what we've done is produced the figures for customers to be able to see what their potential win is within this bonus round. And customers will be able to select, and they can select by random, but he'll selected the numbers for us. You've got 10 different figures, 10 different numbers that you need to match, 15 numbers drawn. So here, obviously, we're on a bit of a roll. And you can see we're flying through, getting the big pay. We need one more, and we've hit an extra 5,000 coins. So obviously, for customers, the bonus round is like, come on, that's what we're after. We're looking for customers to really want to get it within this bonus round. And obviously, if they've been disappointed with their picks, then they're going to obviously want to carry on and play again. So, Neon Jungle, just going through the final kind of points. It's activated there on a scatter. And if you activate it on 3 spins, it pays out 6 free spins. Within 3 spins, it's just the high-paying symbols. So we'll just have a quick nose at that. Obviously the jungle cat paying quite nicely. And again, another pair. So ladies and gentlemen, that was Neon Jungle, the exclusive that nobody else has seen anywhere till today. And I'm going to open it up to questions, and thank everybody very much for listening. And please feel free to take one of the gifts. They're blow them up, stick a beer in, sit in the pool, be good. Thanks very much.
That was excellent. Thanks a lot for that, Kevin. Does anyone have any questions at all? It's the moment of truth. If it's a really good question, you could get to win the flamingo.
Yeah, you can take that if you...
I'm going to ask a question anyway.
You've
merged. It's a flamingo, right?
Yeah, it's a flamingo.
Yeah. You've merged. That's an interesting game, Neon, because you've merged Keno, which is an incredibly soft game. It's a lottery game with something much harder, so to speak, in terms of a slot. I'm just interested to know why you think a slot player will be interested in Keno, because that crossover seems quite wide.
Of course. Okay, so in terms of Neon Jungle, obviously we were looking to try and do something new and unique, and as we've gone through all of the other different games, that was kind of trying to push the boundaries with them. And I think that what we found when we were playing the slots is we were looking really to see what you can win in a bonus round and what the big pay can be. And by putting that on the screen is obviously quite a unique and trivial thing. When numbers come in and we were looking at numbers of flamingos, it was quite a funny story, really. We was joking around in the office, and I'd taken my kids to Colchester Zoo, and there was an interesting fact that flamingos only breed if there's more than 25 in a pack. So what they've done is they put mirrors all around to make them breed, right? And so when the flamingo of Neon Jungle kind of come up, I was like, oh, well, let's do something with numbers of flamingos. And then when obviously it made absolute perfect sense to bring in Keno based on that, because we were talking about numbers and crossing over different games in our portfolio, because Keno on the 1x2 network performs very, very well. And that's something that what we were kind of joking around with, kind of different ideas, and then when we pieced it together and we played it, I actually think it's really, really exciting, especially there where you're kind of creeping up the numbers, and you've got one more and you get an extra 5,000 coins. Like you've only got 2 more left. If I can land them 2, that's great. And that's something that some bonus rounds don't get, with just sort of the simple pick'em. Yes, the kind of mechanics is not too much different, but actually what you're looking for is that element of, come on, let's chase it. And that's what we believe that we've mastered here with Neon Jungle, and I'm quite excited to see how the market responds to it, to be honest.
I tend to agree. I think that the market is actually underserved for those types of games with big wins. Yeah. I've got my other question, which I asked lots of slots developers, and you're entering the market in this way, is how saturated the market is, and why you feel you guys are going to be successful.
Yeah.
When there is just so much, particularly slot content out in the marketplace. Yeah,
of course. So we're aided by, obviously, when I went through the portfolio of the 1x2 network and showed some of the places that we're integrated, people know us, and that's the reason why we changed the name to IronDogStudio and created 1x2 Network to sit above 1x2 Gaming and IronDogStudio. And effectively within that, it's the reason why we spun off IronDogStudio as its own element in its own right. And really, yes, product buyers are always looking for new and exciting games. And it's always, me as somebody that pitches games to operators a lot, and, I even pitched to you like years and years ago, right? And saying what's different about our games, but then how do you get it? That's what you always ask me, right? It's like, how do I get these, right? Well, now we've provided that via the 1x2 network. Be it if you have taken Leap Gaming's games recently, or be it if you've got 1x2 Gaming's games, or if you've integrated Nix, or you've got Bet Constructs, or B2Bell, or whoever else is in the room. We're connected to pretty much everybody. And by doing that, we've now created something that's new and unique. So we remove the element of how do I get those games, which is a blocker, and now exploring new and changing ways of doing things. And if we're always trying to look to make a game Iron Dog in its own right, but then have something new and unique to it, I think that's what's going to be exciting about Iron Dog, and what I think will really start taking hold on the industry.
Excellent. I think they look really good. I wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
Unless anyone else has got any other questions, we will wrap up this piece. Thank you.
Thanks very much, man. Thank you, everybody.